So yeah, I mean, there are nuclear power stations in all these places, but here in New Zealand we've got this kind of this energy problem. But people don't really want. I think people are looking at nuclear as it being very, very dangerous.
No,
So I mean,
it's
what do
only
you hope the future of nuclear energy looks like for the future, or for my generation or younger? Do you think it's got a bad rep and it probably should be embraced in reality to solve the energy problem?
for instance, I spent quite a lot of time in the part of the plant that extracted that stage of the process with diethyl ether. Now that meant you had a building that was immensely tall
Mm.
and had many floors. The laboratory was based more or less on the top floor,
Mm.
well clear of everything. But what we were worried about there, in spite of the amount of radioactivity being passing through the building,
Mm.
that didn't bother us at all. And what I'm here
That's
prove.
perfectly safe.
No, that was safe as can be.
Yeah.
But the thing you were using to do the processing was diethyl ether
Mm.
by the hundreds of tons.
Is that still used today?
I actually haven't kept up. In that plant, there were tons of diethyl ether. Now, that's a dangerous thing if you use it industrially, because it only requires the smallest spark
Mm.
to set the whole bloody lot off, you
It's
know.
explosive.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, what an explosion, you know.
Wow. Okay.
And of course, we were on the top floor of this bloody building.
Yeah.
Which we treated as a bit of a joke. It was, you made a joke of everything in a way if you worked there. We walked to lunch. The output from that entire place, what came in was ore, basically ore.
So
from
uranium ore was
from
coming
wherever
in
you could get it, you know.
one end.
I mean, Britain would buy ore from wherever she could get it, you know. And of course, that's an enterprise in itself. And the ore, is.
And so what's coming out the other end? I mean,
Well-
you've got uranium ore coming one end, you've got power coming
Yeah.
out the other. Is that it,
Oh,
basically?
the place.
I mean, to simplify
What came out of Springfield was bars of uranium. Bars of steel, which you could hold one in your hand. You could. They were heavy.
Like pure uranium.
Yeah, pure uranium. Yeah,
Wow.
basically.
Yeah.
But pure uranium isn't just actually pure uranium. It's actually got
Like an alloy.
steel and it's an alloy in the end.
But what would the purity
all kinds of stuff.
be?
Oh,
Rather, like 50%.
high degree of purity.
80%.
Well, you tried to get it. The simplest answer is you tried to get as much uranium, as much pure energy coming out of that bar. So, for instance, if you had a bar here now, it happened to my father-in-law actually. They had an open day.
Okay.
The factory was, the secure stuff was just secure. You
Yeah.
probably never, but they were taken in groups. People came in for a weekend, and we had a nuclear,
have a picnic.
and they could see it. And at one stage, you came across these beautiful, perfect. May even seen things like it. Just a a pure bar of metal about that kind of diameter, you know.
About this.
But it's about that,
Yeah.
you know, maybe
Square.
about an inch. It
Yeah.
was, and it'll be a long metal bar, just a circular, you know, not a circular, but you know what I mean, just a bar of metal, about, they varied in length. They, as a result of the ore coming in and going through all these damn processes and being checked by people like me, our job was checking the process. We analysed fluid from this area and some solids from that area, and we were taking samples of everything. Basically, samples came into the lab all the time. They were coming in all the time, samples, and they were all very carefully labelled. You could go exactly back to where that sample came from and so on.
So once you're holding this high kind of purity, beautiful bar, that's ready to produce, is it? Basically,
Yes, ready. That's ready to go.
That will make power.
That will make power.
Wow.
This entire factory was devoted to making these bars.
The uranium bar.
The uranium bar.
So once you've got this uranium bar, how do you make it from that point?
It's very simple.
What's the final step?
Any amateur could do it.
What's the final step?
You go to Kingdom Come while you were doing it, but
what's the final step? I mean, you've got this pure bar, you purified it, we're at 90% purity? Or high purity?
It's as pure as you can get it, yeah.
What, is it 90% or high purity? Above 90? Above 80?
No, you've got to decide what you're using as your basis. 90% of what? You know.
Uranium. 10% alloy.
Yeah, no.
It's a bit more complicated.
Yes.
If we were to simplify, I've got this beautiful bar. I mean, what then happens to that bar? I think most people wouldn't understand this.
It's very simple. That bar is a radioactive bar. Now, for instance, the day we went round, there were 2 or 3 bars lying in a row, and Pat's father, who was a smart bloke, said, look at those beautiful steel bars. And I said, no, they're not steel. I said, they're radioactive, actually.
Those are actually uranium bars.
And so I reached over and I picked one up, you see.
Yeah.
And I offered it to him. I'm not touching that, he
said.
Yeah. I said, in this form, it's giving off radiation, but what happens to that bar is, once all these bars have been made, then basically they go into containers, which are fluted containers. It's all made to fit together neatly, you know. The bar slides in this thing, and so instead of a steel bar, which is slightly dangerous to hold, really, but but only if you hang on to it. You know? If you just pick it,
you have to hold it a while.
Yeah, and even then it would kill you very slowly. But the point is, so it goes into a casing which is fluted on the outside, so that you could stand the bar on its end. And this bar, which might be the length, depends on a lot of other factors, but you make them tailor-made to fit the reactor that it's going to go into.
Okay.
So the net, I can only emphasise that the net result of truckloads of dirt, in a sense, coming in.
The uranium ore. Pure bar.
No.
Put the bar in the fridge.
No. And the bar, the bar, what you do with the bar is put it inside this fluted case.
Fluted case.
Which means you're not going to touch anything radioactive from then on.
Okay, so it's totally
It's safe. It's safe.
Yeah.
Or as safe as can be. And then all you have to do to make a reactor, I say all, is put these bars side by side.
Yes.
And what you would find, nobody actually does this.
Yeah.
That as the bars go alongside one another,
okay,
they're all separated because they're within a casing. The casing is quite a big casing. The bar is quite small, really, about that diameter. But it's in a casing that's out here somewhere, you know. So all these anyway, and you can get them in all depending on the type of reactor you're making. And you may have different uses for that, different purposes. But basically all these things go so. What happens is that if you have one of those standing up, you can stand and look at it for 100 years and won't do anything. When you start putting them together, what happens is you would notice very quickly, actually, when you've got the first 2 or 3 together, there's standing together alongside one another, generally in a circular formation, they get warmer.
Okay.
And that warmth grows incredibly fast, so that
exponentially.
Yes.
And that's a reaction.
But it doesn't get any hotter than that. But you put another layer on, and it suddenly jumps up a hell of a lot more.
Another exponential
jump. Oh
jump.
Yes. And so
we're building a core.
So basically, what
you're describing? A core?
Yeah, a core. Yeah.
This is the core.
This is the core of the reactor.
And you're building around this core.
Yeah. What you do with this? You don't do this by hand. None of it's done by hand.
Yeah.
You've got machines that actually.
Yeah. So you've got machines that are building around the core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, there's all kinds of different clever ways of building the things, and I have no idea how they do it.
But in a nutshell, you've basically summarised it.
In a nutshell, you turn a lone bar into a thing that's generating heat, and you can put fluid through it.
Yeah.
Water, for instance. You know,
and bingo,
you've got power. You've got infinite power. This is the difference. Because the water, it'll
keep going.
Yeah.
There is no
It's
stopping
infinite in the sense that you've got an infinity of water.
That's creating temperature.
So as you choose the amount of water you're going to put through and the rate you put through, and these days they use cleverer stuff than just water, I think. I don't know. But the point is, if you run water through, the purpose of a reactor is to generate heat, really, in the end. All reactors. I mean, all like ordinary electric power, you know, it's a source. You say, where's the heat? Take the River Waikato, generates
this is a hydro river.
It's a hydro river, and it generates massive amounts of power because as it flows, it causes other things to move and other things to generate. You know,
heat.
It generates heat.
Yeah.
Because that's your aim.
But I guess it's relying on water. But I mean, all right. So we'll close it up. So
yeah, basically, with that, you've got the makings of your powerhouse.
Your power supply.
Your power supply. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, to try and summarise what we've just discussed would be quite difficult for me to do. But overall, I guess what I've learnt from you today is basically the ore comes in. we make a uranium bar.
Yeah.
It gets quite pure,
Yeah.
and basically from that, we create the nuclear core, which then creates an indefinite, pretty clean supply of
heat.
power. Yeah.
Yeah. It's generating essentially heat.
So yeah, I mean, it's really changed my perspective about how safe this really is. So yeah, I would encourage people to learn more and ask more. And if you have any questions, and this we can dig deeper into areas, because I feel like I've had to cut you off. I know a lot of areas you've wanted to go deeper today, but we're just touching the tip of the iceberg.
Also, I'd have to.
I've kind of caught you a bit off guard today.
Normally, if I knew.
Sorry about that.
If I knew.
But thank you for sharing all this. I mean, I know
it's a matter of collecting your thoughts. From my point of view, just me and my mates, but my job was to actually analyse, to know the kind of chemistry that I needed to know to actually test all tiny bits of all this process that were going on, you know, all the key bits you had to know. For instance, you want to know, is that maintaining a steady value? Is it not? Is it increasing or not, or decreasing? I mean, you're just having bits